Hey guys, welcome to another salsa vlog, and in today's episode I want to talk to you guys about my journey going from a confused college kid not knowing what I wanted to do with my life to now a full-time dance instructor making a living doing what I love to do. Enjoy! So the story begins back in college. I was switching majors, going from engineering to psychology to then finance and finally marketing. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So one day, looking for advice, I went to my college psychology teacher and I asked her for some help. The first thing she asked me is, what am I good at? What do I love to do? Well, I knew that I loved to dance, but that was such a financially risky move that even though I had considered it, I was denying it and shoving it to the back of my brain. I was just thinking, what's the safe route? What's gonna guarantee that I am not homeless living under a bridge? Okay, so now fast forward many years later until I finally made a decision to be a dance instructor. I made a commitment to be homeless forever. Just kidding, I just had gotten a call from a dance studio that knew that I taught salsa. They asked me if I wanted to teach there. So I made the commitment and decided to go for it. I have told the story before of how I became a dance instructor in a previous vlog. So if you don't know that, go look at that. This video is gonna focus on the stories that I did not share with you on the previous video about the difficulties that I went through, the things that I had to learn to be successful, and some tips that I wanna share with you that you'll find value if you're in a similar position like I was when I first started, not knowing what to do with your life, if you're confused, if you want to pursue a more artistic career path, if you don't know anything about business and you don't have any clients yet, or if it seems scary at first, listen to this. I'm about to help you out. So the very first thing that I did that was good was I made a commitment. I decided to not consider anything else. I'm going to be a dance instructor. Whether or not I'm going to be homeless or not, we'll see, but I made a commitment to it and I didn't look back. That was possibly the biggest, most scariest decision that I had ever taken in my life and the riskiest one by far. I didn't know I was gonna be successful. I didn't know where I was gonna get clients from. I knew I wanted to be a dance teacher, but I had 0 students. On top of that, I was having some personal problems at home at the time that were forcing me into a position where I needed income so that I could leave my house. So some of the things that I did was try to buy as much time in my parents' house. Even though I didn't like the environment there and I knew I wanted to get out, I would try to spend the least amount of time possible in the house. I would practice at the local gym where I was living. I would try to always be out of the house and spend minimal time there because it was bringing me down. Back then, my classes were getting about 3 to 6 students per class consistently, which wasn't much, but allowed me to get some income and start saving. Whatever income I was making, I was saving. I would save everything. I would not go out. I would keep my costs down, keep my expenses down. I had this beat up car that I drove for years, which was scary because I didn't do so many maintenance jobs on it and I would be afraid all the time if it was gonna give out on me. Nothing that I recommend doing, but it was something that I felt that I needed to do at the time so that I could save as much money as I could. Also, for the very first years of teaching, for many years actually, I would only eat rice and beans. I would buy the cheapest pasta that I could at Publix and I would put tomato sauce on it and that was it. That was my meal. I would also eat just like plain oatmeal and peanut butter. I kept a very frugal lifestyle. Even though you might be thinking that those were big sacrifices, I was just doing what I felt needed to be done so that I could pursue my passion and make a living doing what I love to do. I knew it wasn't gonna stay like that forever. I knew I would see better days, but I knew I needed some money in the bank while I built up my student base, while I built up my clientele, just in case anything would go wrong. And one day it happened. One day, things at home got to the point where I knew that I couldn't stay there anymore. I knew I had to step out and go out on my own. I was 23 years old, living with my parents, and I was about to make my first move out. I mean, looking back at it now, it's not such a big deal, but for me then, I thought to myself, wow, I mean, I hope this dancing thing is gonna work out as the only job I had, and that was the only way I was planning on sustaining myself. The only thing that gave me a little bit of hope was the fact that at that moment, I happened to get one of my students pay me around $500 for I don't know how many private lessons back then. So I started looking around for a place to move out into. And through a mutual friend of mine, I happened to find an efficiency apartment, little tiny place that pretty much the bed, the kitchen, the bathroom. You could get up from the bed, walk 5 steps, and you're in the bathroom. I mean, not an ideal place to live, it wasn't luxury by any means, but at least, I felt proud in that moment that I was able to get out of my house and survive as a dance instructor, only teaching dance. I didn't have any other jobs. That's all I was doing, and I was able to get out and live out on my own. I want you to understand that when you're first starting out, you're gonna make big sacrifices. You're not gonna have the life you want. You're not gonna have all the luxury in the world. You're gonna take living standards that are gonna be below what you're looking for. You don't have to. Maybe you get to a point where you could live exactly how it is you want right from the get-go. But at least in my case, that's what happened. Little by little, my classes started to do better till I finally got a steady group of students who would show up, and I made enough money to be able to save up a little bit after paying rent. I stayed teaching in that dance studio for about 5 years until finally came another point in my life that was also very scary, which was having to break away then from that studio to now go out on my own, find a place and do my own thing. This is the most important lesson that I want to talk to you about here. When you're first starting out, you gotta find a way to make what you're doing work, and you gotta do everything possible, like I said, make the sacrifices. But in order to prosper doing what it is that you love to do, if you're an artist, if you don't know anything about business, that's exactly what's gonna hold you back. The only thing that gave me the confidence to then get out and do my own thing, move to a different studio, move cities, even leave all the students that I have built up over the years to now find a place to do it all over again, was the fact that I had learned about business. I had learned about marketing, I learned about selling, I learned about online marketing, building websites. If you want to be successful as an artist, you got to realize that you're the product. You need to be able to sell yourself, and it doesn't matter how good you are as an artist, you're not going to be able to be successful until you learn how to do that, until you learn how to sell yourself. In fact, if you want to avoid all the sacrifices that I talked to you about, learn the business side of it as early as you can. And if you're like me with no business experience before that, I consider myself an artist and that was it. In fact, the only reason why I wanted to be the best dancer in the world, it's because I thought, if I'm the best dancer in the world, people are just gonna come to me, they will wanna learn from me, and I wouldn't have to sell myself. My dancing would do the selling. And that's where I was wrong. It doesn't matter how good of a dancer, how good of an artist you are. If you don't know how to talk to people, make people feel good about doing business with you, you're just not gonna be successful. And even though I am all about the art, about becoming a master of your craft, taking time to practice and get better every day, you also gotta take time and read business books, listen to people that are doing better than you financially, learn how to sell, learn how to market, learn how to make your website, learn how to build relationships, learn how to make people feel good around you, learn how to talk, learn how to be a public figure, learn how to put yourself out there. These are all the skills you're gonna need to be successful. This might not be what you want to hear right now. For sure, I know that I didn't want to listen to something like this back when I started, but it's the truth. You're gonna be able to do a lot better if you learn the skills. And where do you start? For me, for example, I read these books by a guy named Grant Cardone. I was able to then learn the basic skills of selling, basic skills of marketing, how to talk to people, how to be more enthusiastic, and all of that made such an impact in my life that this is the reason why right now I'm making this video, is because I wish somebody would have given me this advice, another artist would have told me this, so that it would have saved me a lot of those sacrifices that I talked to you about in the beginning. And I would be in a completely different place. Not only should you do it for the fact that you're gonna be able to make a better living doing it, but it's gonna push you into directions that you don't even know. It's gonna help you grow. And you know what? Having learned these skills have made me a better teacher, has made me a better artist. And on top of that, if you're passionate about what you do, and you're passionate about your art, your dance, then there is no better reason to learn how to sell that. You have the best product, which is you. You already believe in you. So these are the steps that you need to follow. This is what you need to do. Pick up books, pick up business books, pick up marketing books. They're gonna teach you a lot, and they're gonna be able to help you do whatever it is that you love to do and make a good living doing that. If you're starting out, write me an email, send me a direct message. If you need help, if you need some motivation, let me know where you are in your life. Let me know if you're just starting out, if you don't have courage to do whatever it is that you love to do. And whichever way I could help you, let me know. I want to be there for other artists. Please reach out to me. I want to be able to help you out, okay? This videos, I am making them so I could help somebody that was in the same position like me when I first started, okay? So if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up, share it with somebody who you think might need to hear this message, and subscribe here for more salsa content.